strategy. I prefer to use the bank's money instead of my own. And indeed I went around the country teaching people to do exactly that, and working very closely with Simon Zucchi since he started back in 2003. My first purchase was a property with a value of £60,000. I agreed to pay £40,000. I raised £57,000 from the bank, paid the £40,000 and ended up with £17,000 in the bank. Thank you very much. So that enabled me to build a massive portfolio over the last 25 years, which I manage myself today with the help of some staff. That brings in a net profit of well into six figures. Now, we had a problem back in 2007, 2008 with the banks. Had a bit of a crisis, and as you probably remember, they stopped lending money, so we needed to find a new strategy. Luckily Mesud came along at that time, and we started using instalment contracts, which we've been doing now for about 3 years, just over 3 years. That's enabled me to massively grow my portfolio, and we're averaging on each deal about 30 to 40,000. We've done over 40 deals. So that's enough of me. Over to you, Mesud.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mesud. For those of you who haven't seen me before and haven't heard from me, let me tell you a little bit about my story. As you can guess from my accent, I'm from Eastern Europe. I was born in Bulgaria in a Turkish family, and I was accepted to Richmond American International University in 2005. So I came in as a student in the UK with a nice scholarship. So I come from a very poor village in eastern Bulgaria. So at the age of 14 I didn't speak a word of English, so that's when I started learning English at high school, and since then it has improved. It's still not very good, but I hope you can understand me very well. Right, I came in Richmond 29 of August 2005. I had £825 in my wallet, okay? And next day I had to pay my maintenance fees to Richmond American University. I ended up paying my fees and £25 left in my wallet. I didn't have any friends, I didn't have anywhere to stay, and my English wasn't good at all, and I just was panicking. I said, well, what am I going to do? I'm in a country and I have to make it happen. I have to make a success out of this. So I started looking for opportunities. I found a job very quickly. I started working in a restaurant, and the restaurant had members of staff living in one house. So everyone that was working in the restaurant was living in that house. And I soon realized that that house was 4 bedrooms, 2 reception rooms, and had a nice conservatory, but only 2 people were living in the whole house. I talked to the boss and said, boss, can I take over the management of the house? I'll pay the bills, I'll pay the mortgage, I'll sort everything out. Just let me manage it. Is it alright if I sublet the rooms? He said, go for it, mate. Just take care of it. If you make any money, it's yours. I started subletting the rooms. I let all the rooms. I had now 5 rooms let, and soon I was making more money from renting the rooms than I was making from earning part-time working in the restaurant. I realized property is so powerful. Why should I do more of this? So I started reading books, going to property events like you have come today, meeting people, and learn creative property investment strategies. 2009 I met Doug and we started investing with installment contracts, a whole new way of buying and selling properties. Today we're going to present that.
So overview of the evening very quickly is we're going to look at what is an instalment contract and how we're making massive profits from every deal. We're going to show you some real life examples, and we're showing you how we're going to buy and control property using a single document. And then we're going to bring an offer to you. For those of you who are interested in learning more about what we do, we have some opportunities for you to do so if you want to take advantage of that. So,
what is an installment contract, Doug?
Mesud, an installment contract is not an option. It is not a lease option or a purchase option, which is a mistake that most people make.
What is it then?
Well, it's a unique money-making strategy. It's just like a normal conveyance. It's just like a normal sale and purchase. In fact, what we do is that we use instalment contracts as an exit strategy, not as a buying strategy. We'll show you the buying strategies tonight. We use it as an exit strategy only. Basically, the buyer exchanges contracts with the seller therefore giving certainty of a completion. Unlike an option, there is no certainty of completion. With an option, the person that takes the option can just simply walk away after the option period. With an instalment contract, there's an exchange of contracts, a standard conveyance, so therefore there will be a completion. Both buyer and seller have clarity and certainty. It's the most profitable strategy by far because it provides more opportunities. If you think about it for the moment, we're selling to people generally at the moment that are unable to obtain a mortgage, or they haven't got a big enough deposit. Which part of the population do you think is the largest? Those people that can get a mortgage and who've got a deposit, or those people who can't get a mortgage and haven't got a big enough deposit? Which is the largest part of the population today? Those people that can't get a mortgage is a massive part of the population. Those people that can get a mortgage, that can buy a property in the traditional way, will go to an estate agent and to their bank. It's a very small sector of the market. We're marketing to a massive, massive sector of the market using our Rightmove account. It provides unique money-making opportunities because it provides profits from day one. So when you exchange contracts, the buyer pays the deposit on exchange, traditional. It also provides a massive monthly cash flow. On an instalment contract, the revenue that's generated is far, far greater than any rental. It's far, far greater than any option, and it's far, far greater than any HMO or multi-let, simply because we remove all the costs of the tenant. We no longer have a tenant in the property, we have a buyer in the property. The buyer looks after the property, so we take away all the headaches that we have with tenants, and we also, most importantly, is take away all the costs involved in having a tenant in our properties. For that reason and that reason alone, it makes us massive profits on a monthly cash flow. So how we're making massive profits from every deal, we're going to show you some examples, and we're going to repeat these examples very quickly. I'm going to go over these. The best way to learn is repetition, repetition, repetition. So I'm going to repeat these. So by the time we've gone through the second and third, you may start to understand where I'm coming from. Babysitting is a technical term we use, not anything to do with babies, but in fact it's to do with properties. And it was alluded to earlier on, what do you do? The gentleman asked over there, what do? You look after somebody's property and their mortgage? Exactly that. We babysit the property and we babysit the mortgage. It was also alluded to earlier on, what do you do with those cases that have a Northern Rock, or NRAM as they're known now, together mortgage? This gentleman owned this property here, had an NRAM together mortgage, which is 95% secured loan, and another 30% on top of that unsecured as a personal loan, called a together mortgage. He had one of those. He was unable to sell the property because it was on the market for 8-9 months.
8-9 months, £94,000, and the property was probably worth only 75, 80 maximum.
And his mortgage outstanding was
82, I think 81, 82,000 pounds. It was a mortgage outstanding plus a unsecured loan.
Plus the so the young guy, all he wanted to do was to move away from the pain of having to pay this mortgage every month. Couldn't sell the property because he was only being offered 70, 75, 72. Couldn't sell it because he couldn't redeem his loan, and all he wanted to do is move into his mother-in-law's property with his girlfriend and save for a deposit so they could buy a house together. So we agreed that we would babysit the property and also babysit his mortgage payments for him. We haven't transferred the mortgage, we're simply just babysitting the payments. So we've contacted the lender, given them authority, and now we have control over the property using our single document. We're babysitting the property, we're babysitting the payments. And within about an hour and a half we put it on the market. Mesud, can you read that for us?
Buy my one-bedroom flat, no mortgage needed, £5,000 moves you in, £597 per calendar month, flat is yours. Newington.
Call Vicky.
Vicky.
My telephone number. So, how many people do you think would be interested in that? They can buy a flat for £5,000 moves you in, £597 per month, which is basically that's what the rent would cost anyway, and the flat is yours. Do you think somebody would make an inquiry? Well, yeah, we were flooded with inquiries, particularly because we put so many signs up, not only on the house but also around the area as well.
We ended up on the newspaper, radio, and bear in mind this is on Station Road. Do you think there were some people going to the station every day?
So give us some numbers. What did we do with this property?
Well, we sold it on installment contract, the most profitable property strategy. Okay, right. This property was worth again 70, 75, 80 at the top. So I decided, okay, 89,995 should be the sale price. Put on my deal analyzer and said, I'm going to ask for 89,995, £5,000 deposit, and 597 was it per month. The flat is yours. Well, a lady from all those beautiful signs turned up and said, well, I love your flat. I just got rid of my husband and I need a one-bedroom place. I said, Tina, how much you got? I've got £19,000. So you've done well after the split. Said, well, the split hasn't finished yet. There is more money to come. Hang on, and I'll pay you off then. I said, Tina, okay, we can move you at £19,000, and we took the £19,000. We asked for 5. She gave us 19. Okay, our cash flow reduced to £40 a month, but that is fine. Right, because this property, ladies and gentlemen, remember, is in negative equity, and we took quite a substantial deposit, I put a clause in the contract. I put a clause in the contract saying, look, you can't cash out before year 7. If you cash out before year 7, you're going to pay me a redemption penalty, just like the banks. If the banks are charging it, why can't we? So that's what we did. So she decided to cash out after 8 months. And what do you think? We charged her the £6,000, and we added to the amount that she owed us. She got the money from the divorce settlement. She said, I'm ready to complete. Do you mind? She said, well, are you aware that there's a £6,000 redemption penalty? She said, no, no problem, I'll pay it. I'm just ready to complete.
So how much did we pay for this?
Nothing.
How many tenants did we move in?
None.
How many boilers have we fixed?
None.
How many carpets were replaced?
She replaced the carpets.
How much have we made?
£19,400 in
months?
8 months. 8. I can't count. 8, yeah.
So let's have a look at another example. This is another babysit. A gentleman named Bob owned this property down in Cromer Road, and unfortunately he was in arrears with GE money. As explained earlier, he'd gone through the repossession process and he was going to be repossessed next Thursday. We was talking to him on Wednesday. The bailiffs were coming in next Thursday to repossess the property. £1,800 he owed. That's all, £1,800. He was packing his boxes ready to move off to his sister's house. So we was introduced to him by one of our introducers, and we said, Bob, how would it make you feel if we could pay off your arrears for you, allow you to stay in the property for a little while, pack your boxes, give you a little bit more time rather than next Thursday, give you another few weeks, maybe another 4, 5, 6 weeks, pack your boxes, move into your sister's house under your own steam, so that gives you a chance to sell your furniture, which you did do on eBay, and move under your own steam, so